Chairman, my amendment, which is co-sponsored by Representative Stivers, is a bipartisan effort to provide essential public safety funding to communities across the country that have been determined to be at high risk of a terrorist threat. This amendment would provide for an additional $58 million to state and local grant programs that the Secretary of Homeland Security should use to increase eligibility for urban areas security initiatives to all communities at high risk, including Buffalo, which I represent. The intent is to restore the eligibility of these communities to again participate in the WASI program after being unfortunately cut out in the past. The Buffalo-Niagara region, which was made ineligible without merit. The area includes 4 international bridge crossings and the busiest passing along the Niagara border with Canada, the largest electricity producer in New York State, and the area that was home to the al-Qaeda terrorist cell in Lackawanna 6. It sits along 2 Great Lakes, which contain the largest freshwater supply in the world, and is within a 500-mile radius of 55% of the American population and 62% of the Canadian population. Buffalo is not alone either. Border communities like El Paso, San Antonio, and Austin were cut as well. Cities in close proximity to large ports, refineries, and utilities like Columbus, New Orleans, Memphis, Nashville, and Oklahoma City were cut as well. 36 communities in total were cut from all across the country. Now, as we are only beginning to realize the threats posed by these places, is it penny-wise and pound-foolish to leave them without the resources to maintain the capacity gains they developed throughout this program? Mr. Chairman, the 9/11 Commission made it clear that protecting the homeland from terrorist threats can and should be a federal priority. Yet the Department has hedged on this commitment by excluding too many vulnerable communities that need to participate in this Department of Homeland Security program. We know that the threats to these areas are real, and we should be doing everything possible to provide law enforcement with the tools to prevent and to respond to them. Again, Mr. Chairman, I urge my colleagues to support this bipartisan amendment because the terrorist threat to these communities is real and is dynamic. And we should be doing everything that we can to empower these communities to prevent themselves from these threats. Thank you, and I yield on to my time.